Hey everybody, welcome back to Coach's Archives. Let's get into all of the major headlines of the day that we want to cover. But first and foremost, I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving with your family and friends. I know that I did. Greatly appreciate my family and enjoyed this holiday season. So hope that you had the same. Got to give you a warning. Some of these stories, especially our opening one, are very disturbing. This is the face of the man that we're dealing with here in our opening story. I'll come back and show you this again, but just take a look at the headline. This is some of the most evil that we come across. Jury nails trans pedophile who groomed little girl using Star Wars, then raped her. You read that correctly. And these are the people that want to go in the bathrooms. These are the people, this man is fighting for the opportunity to go inside girls' bathrooms in America. He had a mutual, interest with an 11-year-old female. And something really interesting happens here, besides the absolute evil and horror of it all. But the interesting thing is the man transitions from female to male. He's very fluid in his transition back and forth. I guess it's just when he wants to be that, I guess. Under no circumstances do we ever condone grooming, much less doing what he did to an 11-year-old child or minor of any age or person of any age. We're talking about the most evil that you can do to somebody besides just outright killing them. Well, here are the details. A transgender pedophile in the UK is being locked up for raping a child. GB News reported 51-year-old Aria Piers was sentenced for 15 years in prison for attempted rape, 3 counts of sexual assault, 2 counts of rape, and 2 counts of inciting a child to sexual activity. God, just 15 years? Like, that's a shame right there. Lock this person up for life. The Liverpool Crown Court heard testimony regarding Piers grooming the 11-year-old child over their mutual interest in Star Wars. After inappropriate touching and encouraging the 11-year-old to use a sex toy on herself, Piers raped her. GB also reports Piers identified as a man at the time of the crime, but now he says he is a woman. So it's time to go to prison, and all of a sudden, you're a woman. I think we're on to you. I think I understand why. Doesn't get any better, guys. Judge Catherine Pierpoint told Piers, "I appreciate that as a transgender prisoner, there will be issues which you will have to navigate during the long period of your sentence." So they even have activist judges in Great Britain, it appears, in England. This is a shame. Who cares what his mental state is in terms of his own sexuality and wanting to project that upon other people? He's using it against you, Judge, and you're falling right into it because you're an activist yourself, apparently. He should be assigned to a male center because he has biological male genitalia. It's that simple. But you're going to let him transition back into a female and put this man in an all-female area? They haven't said that that's what they're doing, but it appears that that's the route that they may be going. The judge, Pierpoint, continued her nauseatingly sympathetic monologue, saying Piers suffered with periods of anxiety and depression, and he struggled with his gender identity throughout his life. Yeah, you don't say this person suffers from mental illness. How about that? Look, England, a Liverpool area trans person was sentenced to 15 years in prison on November 25th for grooming and sexually abusing a child, starting from when the victim was 11 years old. Piers is clearly an evil man with a desire to hurt children. That's the only issue here. The judge and society should not consider how Piers struggled with his gender identity, as this is a fabrication created to coddle very disturbed, mentally ill people. Instead, the focus should be on the victim who is facing an untold impact from her prolonged abuse. And that is the very point. I don't hate transgender people. I do hate how they use it as a crutch, as almost get out of jail free card. Not so much in this case, it's more of a get out of man jail free card. Send me over there with the women where I can dominate pretty much because I'm a 51-year-old man and I'll be the alpha. But if you send me where there's other men, I'm not going to be the alpha. I'm going to be alphaed, if you know what I mean. And that's exactly what would happen. We cannot run society, with these rules for the people who suffer from mental illness. Like we have to set the laws for them. We have to set the rules down and establish the rules for them. And I agree with the article. We have to be mindful of the victim first. 15 years, first of all, not long enough. The judge going on and on about the person's mental illness, so what? And I don't particularly like in the whole argument today against trans people versus normal society. You can no longer use the word gender dysphoria anymore because they scoff at that. They're like, oh, that's an outdated term. That's no longer the case. Well, yeah, they don't want that term because that tells you that they actually believe what they are not. That's what the dysphoria part means. So they got to eliminate that term, and they won that battle, but I'm still going to use it. I mean, so what? I'll use the word even though that they scoff at it. Gender dysphoria. Look, I'm okay with trans people existing. That's fine. But don't make me, what role do I have to play in your imagination of yourself? Okay? If you're a man, then you're a man. And I'll just say this very plainly. If you have male genitalia, you should go to the male genitalia bathroom and otherwise. I mean, if you pee standing up, you know what I mean? If you pee standing up and you can hit the bullseye the whole time, then you probably need to be in the male's bathroom. Probably a little crude, but funny. And this takes us to the reality of the situation in America. The Democrats have a woman problem. Kamala Harris just lost majorly to Donald Trump in the presidential election. And the article here, I think, is spot on. The Harris campaign's pro-abortion, pro-trans, and anti-man strategy flopped. And that's not just the Harris campaign. That's the far-left ideologues. That's the like-mindedness that the far left have. They all are in on these. The check boxes, pro-abortion, pro-trans, anti-man. Like that's the route that they wanted to go, and that's a major reason why they lost, and they lost big. And there's two things about that election that shows you the disconnect between the far left and the public. One thing, the whole the polling that they had, how Kamala Harris was leading Donald Trump in several different polls all the way up to Election Day, and she got blown out. You cannot trust those polls anymore. The age of the polls have ended. And here's another thing that's ended. The age of the celebrity and their impact. Social media, what we're seeing right here, like on YouTube, where little old me can sit here and make a video offering commentary, hopefully common sense commentary, and it's destroyed the celebrity and their impact. Where the culture used to go, wow, the celebrities believe this, let me do what they say. Not anymore. You got people like Joe Rogan. He wasn't a celebrity. He wasn't a famous actor. He wasn't even really a famous comedian. He was a comedian, and he was a good comedian, and he did great. But he wasn't famous. It wasn't like he was Bill Cosby or something. Bill Cosby. Bad example. But you know what I mean. Like, Joe Rogan wasn't on that level. It's his podcast, it's his social media presence that made him what he is today. It's not the fact that he was an announcer on UFC. So the age of social media has eliminated the celebrities and the impact that they have. All of these far-left activist celebrities saying that they're going to leave the country now because Donald Trump won re-election. Okay, here you go. You ready? Bye. See ya later. Don't let the door hit you in the butt on the way out. Go ahead and get up out of here. We don't need you. We don't even need your movies. Deuces. And here is an example. The former husband of Penny Marshall, director Rob Reiner throws in the towel, deletes his social media following Trump's victory. They're all heading over to Blue Sky. They can't stand Elon Musk and Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, so they're freaking out, they're lashing out, and I'm deleting my profile, I'm taking my toys, and I'm going home too, and I'm just done here. That's basically the attitude that we're getting from the far left with people like Rob Reiner, people like Mark Hamill, people like Harrison Ford coming out, all pro Kamala Harris. You know, it just, the list goes on and on and on of the far left people. Taylor Swift. Leave, go, bye, don't need you, not going to be missed, see you later. You do more harm to our popular culture than anything else. And I honestly do believe it's a really healthy thing that this is the situation that we are now in, again, thanks to social media. As long as we're absolutely able to speak freely on these platforms for the most part, and say what we need to say, call a spade, then the left is always going to lose that battle. They need to manipulate and radicalize the normal person, and they're not going to be able to do that when there's actual pushback with logic and reason. That's what the right do. That's the conservatives. It's going to be hard to beat that, and they know they can't beat that, and that's why they're coming out now, the Democrats, saying Kamala Harris and the campaign, it was too radical, it was too far left, we need a shift. The Democratic Party needs to make a shift back to the center and be more moderate again, and that would actually be a really good idea for them. It's a sad, sad day when we're fighting a war over gender identity. It's not just what you have anymore. It's what I want you to say that I have for my own well-being, because I can be whatever I want to be any day of the week I choose. Life isn't like that. That is not reality. And it's really sad that these people suffer from a mental illness and sickness the way that they do. Honestly, thoughts and prayers to them for that. I hope that they can come to the right. I hope that they can get that fixed and restored and find some peace. But, you know, I can't play a part in your fantasy. I'm going to refuse to do that in a kind way, I might say. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about that. The 51-year-old man, is 15 years too long, too short? What did you think about the judge's comments? What do you think about the age of the poll and all of the far left people in Hollywood hitting the exits, leaving social media, even leaving the country, some of them say? I don't think anyone's actually left yet, still waiting. Maybe they're waiting until Donald Trump is inaugurated, and then they'll get their plane ticket and get up out of here, but I seriously doubt it. Don't they say that every 4 years? Every 4 years, if this happens, I'm gone. It doesn't work because nobody really cares. But anyways, I digress. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for being here at Coach's Archives. Again, hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I pray that the good Lord rains down blessings on you and that you choose to pursue Him. All that in Jesus' name. Amen, guys.